What is going on, folks? Mr. Sullivan, man. We are back in the mix of this thing. All right, let's see if I can get this rolling. So, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So, today we are talking about the meaning of life. You know, your passion is your purpose. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share all of that good stuff, folks. It is a very foggy morning here where I am, big state of Texas. So that is what that is. But yeah, so how are you doing out there? How's everybody doing on the 7th day of January? So how's everyone doing out there? I hope that you're doing amazing, purpose filled, and you know, I hope that you're doing amazing, great, and purpose filled, and all of that stuff. You know, really and truly. So if you know you're poised for the position. So if you're someone who's expecting greater this year, awesome. But you know you gotta keep working at it though. You know, if you got a team surrounding you already, great. Push them. You gotta push them hard. Like, listen, we gotta, we gotta get out there. You know, we gotta get out there like now. You know, really and truly, what's gonna happen in your life is gonna happen. That's just, that's just naturally already written in stone. But today we're talking about your passion is your purpose. So a lot of times, we over the course of history of humanity, people like, what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? And what's going on? And it's got to get better than this, and all kind of questions surrounding that one question. And a lot of people probably believe that your passions are your purpose. So what are you passionate about? What gets you up? What do you think about? While you're working at your 9 to 5 and all of that good stuff. What's that? What are those things that surround your mind? On a daily basis. Those are going to be your those are going to be your passions. We are um sometimes we have a lot of passions. We have a lot of things that we are good or great at. Something that you would love to be doing like on a daily basis. If you're doing that, great. Take it up, you know, continue to take it up like different levels, so to speak. So, but just to let you know, your your passions are going to be your purpose. That those things, or that thing that fire that's within you, if it's been, I don't know, days, months, weeks, years, even, that thing, that drive that keeps you, that drive that keeps you moving, that drive that, like, that, your driven purposes, so to speak. Those things that get you up, get you moving, that get you talking, those things that like really get you like fired up, like, man, you know what, I gotta, yeah, that thing that says, you know what, I need to find a way to make this long term. Like, I need to figure out a way where I can do this, whatever that is, that thing, how you do that thing, that thing that you do like all the time. Let's see. Okay, we're rolling. Yeah, so that thing, man. It's that thing that you're doing all the time. Like, really and truly. So, you just have to ask yourself, like, what is your purpose? Sometimes, I remember a quick story when I was in like middle school. I believe it was middle school, and we had this assignment. I think the guy's name was Mr. Landry. I believe his name was. But anyway, we had like a creative writing assignment, and I sat and I wrote a poem about shimmering something, something, something. And think I showed it to a friend in class, and I think I showed it to him, and he says, I think today you've discovered a hidden talent. And that talent, that talent is still with me today. It all started with that cutesy little poem that I wrote way back when. And then, I went down the road of spoken word, eventually. And then I discovered that I could write in different forms. I really and truly, I discovered that I could, I discovered that I could write different forms, different genres, poetry and music, and short stories, and on and on and on, man. I love my I love my creative talents. I do, and for me, those are the things that push me to want to to want to really like say, man, I really want to do something, just share my talents with the world. So what is your like what's your purpose? Like what is your purpose? Because you gotta go through it to get to it, and that's just what that is, man. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, so you gotta, what's the word, you have to go to it. You gotta go through it to get to it. Like seriously, that's just me rocking. I said the Fred Sanford shirt this morning, but yeah, you gotta go through to get to it. So we're talking about your passions or your purpose. These are the things that are going to get you to the insurmountable mountaintops, where you're going to have like the how can I say put this? So the these are going to be the things that are going to get you to the doors and in the rooms that you're really and truly supposed to be in. So what where do your talents lie? What are you truly passionate about? What are you good or great at? Then than a lot of people on the planet. That's where the money shots are going to be. For you, those are where your yeah. So those are where your money shots are going to be. Those are the things, going down these different roads, these different paths, and meeting these extraordinary and amazing and phenomenal people that are going to be so happy that you showed up, and that you were, what's the word I'm looking for, that you were obedient. There you go. So that you were obedient with your gifts, with your time, and all of that stuff. Just main thing is just to go out there. The main thing is for you is just to go out there and to make it happen. No stopping. Jump on the train and go. Like seriously. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so these are the things that are for you, tried and true, that are going to go ahead and that are going to open up so many more doors for you, as you are going and maneuvering through the early parts of the year. And it's best to do it now. It's best to do it now. Really and truly, you are your only competition. But there's a lot of passionate people out there, man. That really get up, go get it, going for it. So really and truly want you to be like one of those people out there. Because now is your time. If I can't say if not now, because now is your time for real. If you're seeing this, really and truly, now is your time to go out there and to make it happen for yourself, for the different versions of you that have accumulated and amalgamated and morphed you into the you remember what's the name of that show? Oh, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you know, hey, it's morphin time, you know. So now you've transformed into this amazing being, and like you tell God that, hey, you know, you tell your guides, look, I'm ready. You're screaming to the heavens out to, you know, it's like I'm ready, and they've heard you. You know, they've really and truly heard you. So you just continue to go and look and present yourself as the amazing individual that you are. You know, all that you have right now. You know, it's time for you to it's time for you to cash your chips in. Like really and truly. It is time for you to go ahead and cash your chips in. Like right now. You know, they say, you know, it's a great time. I'm gonna say this, you know, it's a great time to bet on you. Like really and truly. It is a phenomenal time to bet on yourself. Like now more than ever, it is a phenomenal. You know, you got really truly nothing to lose, and you got everything to gain. So you're really and truly like moving on the upside. You know, just how people invest in, you know, I don't know, businesses, stocks, you know, crypto, all the digital currency, you know, and all of that stuff. So same, you know, you can, you know, like how people how people have like two screens set up and they're like watching these, you know, the numbers and all of these different things, and they're, you know, it's almost like it's like gambling in a sense. It's like the stock market is like legalized gambling. So you can do the same thing with yourself, you know, like really and truly, you know, and you can do it. You know, you can just take some of your time and do it. You don't really have to go and pay anybody to do that. You know, like seriously, like I did something yesterday for me that I was telling somebody, it's like, man, you know, I accomplished this today, and what I accomplished today, somebody would probably have wanted to charge me, I don't know, a few thousands, you know, or whatever they charge out here. So, you know, but you know, in some things you're gonna need help, but in the very beginnings of it, you know, you can go out there and, you know, if you have a smartphone, Google, you know, that stuff, man, social media, you go out there and just go ahead and make it happen for yourself. Seriously, you know, it's time for you to take those quantum leaps. It's time for you to bet on yourself. You know, because you are, you know, you are more poised in position than anything. You know, yeah, I think yesterday I talked about I don't fear the darkness because it knows my name. So, you know, just like fear, you know, fear is afraid of you now. Like for real. Fear is really and truly because you know, you're at the point right now where you're at the point right now where you're at the point right now where you are ahead of the curve. So you are really and truly now, you know, you are very much, you know, you have this alpha energy about you. You have this you really and truly you have this phenomenal like you have this phenomenal like alpha energy about you that sets you apart, you know. I used to worry about, well, oh, you know, man, my story, you know, like, well, this person did this, so this person survived this, and I'm not, you know, I'm not comparing myself to anybody anymore. Those days are over. You know, I used to look and say like, oh man, you know, their story is so much and blah blah. You know, well they came from Krypton and now you know and they've saved the world a million times. You know, you get not comparing myself to anybody else in the world. Why? Because you are you. You are that one unique individual. You know, your story is meaningful. Like so, you have no idea how powerful your story is. Man. think I'm doing that. More water. So yeah, so you know you have there's there's power in your story, there's power in your voice, there's power within you. So, and this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, you know your the meaning of your life. There's passion. There's passion in your purpose moving forward to continue to put yourself out there, not listening. Like if you go and tell somebody, "Hey, I have an idea for this. I'm thinking about doing this." In the world we're living in, sometimes people are like, "Yeah, man, I don't know," because they're saying they don't know because they don't have the talent. They don't, you know what I'm trying to say. Suppose you have to like get up and move for your talent, for your purpose. You're gonna, oh man, I don't know, man. You're gonna leave your job. I don't know, man. The economy. I'm not, man. I'm not even trying to hear that. Not trying to hear it because I'm not even putting myself in that situation to even be dealing with that mess and people in their, in their small mindedness. Like really and truly. So, now for you, this is your time again. It's really and truly, it is time for you to take those quantum leaps, man. It really and truly is. It's time for you it's time for you to take those quantum leaps. And why not? Because you're doing this for yourself. Yeah, so you're really and true. You're doing this for you. You're not doing this for in the very beginning of you're doing this for you. Of course, it's the magnitude of it. If you knew, you know, you know how we have these dreams and goals, and they come out bigger than they come out bigger than expected. They really and truly do. They really and truly do. They come out bigger than expected, and I think we talked about David yesterday, and in the Bible, David and Goliath. But so you're about to have your David moment. You're about to have your Goliath moment. Where this thing is so big, it's just gonna really and truly make your eyes pop out. You don't take my word for it. Just continue on your journey. And this is a this year thing. This is really and truly this is a this year thing for you. Those doors are opening for you this year. Those doors are opening for you now. That's why I'm giving you this with a sense of urgency to go out and do this now. No more people pleasing. You're pleasing you. You're pleasing you for the life that you're going to be thankful and grateful for. Yeah, we're thankful. We're up, and dealing with life out here and all that good stuff. So, but no matter what, you got to keep moving, and you have to keep moving with that purpose. And that's just what that is, man, for real. And that's just naturally how that goes, man. Hold on. Do, 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 do. I'll do that. And the black party starts now. All right, there we go. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying this. That's why I am saying this with a sense of urgency for you to get up now and to If you started it, great. Continue down that road. Like that, like the Wiz. We're just gonna ease on down that road. Seriously. And since you're going into new territory and new real estate, this is not a good time to go out and tell people what you have going on and what you're doing. All of that stuff. You know. Right. This is not a good time to be stuck on stupid. Not a great time to be stuck on stupid at all. Like really and truly, I urge and implore you to go out, you know, and do something for you for your life that's gonna matter. So we're talking about your passions or your purpose. So that's what we are. That's what we're getting into. That's what we're getting into on this morning. So and it's very true. Talking about the meaning of life and people asking those deep questions, and it's sometimes it's not that deep. It's not. It's just like, what are you good at, great at, and how can you go out, make money off of it, help people, all of that good stuff. And continue down those roads. And now, we have we have AI and the social media. And, you gotta get ideas from all over the place. But the center focus point is you. Because if you don't get up and move, it's not going to necessarily just fall out of the sky for you, you know. And, it's not going to necessarily fall out of the sky for you. And, this is for you to be redeemed in your life. It's going to take discipline. And it's really and truly going to take discipline. And again, if this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe, folks. So yeah, so it's going to take discipline. It is. It's going to take discipline, and it's going to take that self discipline for you to get up. Push yourself and keep moving. So it's like you've been floating out there at sea for I don't know so many days. You finally see the island and you see the resort. It's not like in the movies, but you see the island and you see a resort, you see people, and you're like, okay, cool. Now I can go and I can, get some food and get some help. You know what I mean? So it's like putting yourself out there. You see that island and all of that good stuff, and you're finally going to get the help that you're finally going to get the help that you so passionately deserve. Like really and truly, you're going to get the help. Like sometimes when I come on here, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like people just say, go live, blah, blah, blah. For me, sometimes I just need to have a topic, for me personally, I need to have a topic, to talk about, and just helps me. I don't know. That's just how I am. It's just how I am. So what are we talking about? And and the interesting thing is that you never know who you're inspiring. You never know who's watching you. You never know. That's the thing. That's people say, showing up, not just showing up and showing out. Only you showing up, showing out. You being like that. You being that life of the party. You really and truly being that life of the party. But I am. If you take away nothing that I say, your passions are your purpose. So get on that. That's how you go down those different roads. That's how you meet the extremely influential, important people that you need in your life on that time. But you have to get up. You got to move. You gotta get up. You gotta get going. That's the thing. You know, like that song by Mary Mary. Get up. Get up. We got a lot to do. 24 hour. I am not a singer, so I'm not gonna mess your ears up. But just to say that you got things to do, man. You do, you got things to do. Rest when you need to rest, of course, but if you but again, we're getting up now. We're moving with purpose because we are that, like if it's almost like if you left this earth like for the last time, and like let's say you didn't go for your passion, you settled, and when you get to the other side and they're like, man, you know how close you were, like how like you were right there to that life-changing event that just catapulted you to the stratospheres, and it's like, you just, I don't know, for whatever reason you didn't take advantage of it because you're like, oh well, it's not going to get any better than this, but gotta watch what you have to watch what you speak over your life, and watch really and truly who speaks over your life in the times, watch really and truly, who speaks over your life. Again, you're moving to new territory. You're moving to new territory. You're getting your life is about to, you ever watch those shows and or social media, somebody walks up to somebody and sticks a camera in somebody's face and say like, hey, you hungry? Hey, you want to go get this? Hey, you want to get that? That's going to happen to you without the camera and stuff. When people see you, when you're in front of the crowd or in front of whoever, they're gonna, it's like you're gonna be totally transformed, totally renewed. Like seriously, like really and truly, you're going to be just like you're gonna really and truly just be totally transformed as you should be, because your life is about to get a brand new lease on life, like a brand new lease. Somebody who's been struggling with you're someone who's been struggling with it's two things. Your platform is about to get a gigantic upgrade boost, however you want to see that, and you're about to get a new lease on life. So if you've been somewhere kind of stuck staying with somebody and you're like, man, I gotta, you know I wasn't supposed to be here this long. So you're about to move out of that, and you're about to get your own place. You're really and truly about to get your own place. Somebody's about to get their own office. Somebody's in not just line, but in alignment for promotion. And this is something that is, this is something singularly for you that is right on time. A lot of people would see you and probably hear your story, and they would think it as a mission impossible because they don't even know what forget your life, but they don't even know what you've been through. Like just this morning, you know, they don't necessarily know what you've been through just this morning, just to get yourself up and just to get yourself up and to get moving, man. But again, we are talking about your passions or your purpose. So, and live your passions purposefully. This is where this is where you get away from that thing. I heard a story of a young this morning. A young lady said that she had a coworker. I don't know. She said they work in a bank or something. Anyway, so she said that her coworker hated her job. She really and truly just hated her job, and you could see it every day. She said they would casually talk, and she found out that her coworker like passed away over the weekend, and she knew that the stress that the job was putting on her was a big part of that, and she really hated that um that's how she went out because of that stress. But a lot of you have this anointing over your life that far surpasses that. So it's like you can go into work and you can be so cool and easy, and everybody is jittery. Oh no, the big bosses are coming. You're like, okay. You just, and everybody's like, well, how you're so cool? And I was like, I mean, what? I mean, I don't know why people in that word boss, like, no, I'm not concerned about that. these people are human. They're not like, they're not these aren't like, I don't know, 500-foot robots that are gonna come, and if you're not up to par, they're gonna take you and chuck you into outer space or throw you in the deepest parts of the ocean. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, let's see. Cool. Yeah, man, and that's the beautiful thing about it. How you have so much, how you have so much coming. Let me see where we are with the numbers. That's good. Yeah, so the those and the numbers are really and truly going. The numbers are going to make sense. Maybe I should. Yeah. Let me see. I'm about to give me a second, folks. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but there we go. Yay. All right. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so the and the numbers for you in your life are the numbers for you in your life are going to really and truly make sense. So this is really a time for you. This is a great time of sitting down, strategizing, moving forward and just making it happen while it's still early in the year. Some of us worked last year and moving into this year and all of that good stuff. Some of us just are adding new things to what we did and all of that. So hey, cool. But that's the amazing part about it. That's really and truly, that's really and truly like the amazing part about it. How you're going to, I don't know, hear that song by Mariah Carey, "A Vision of Love," where she said, treated me kind, sweet destiny, so you got destiny on your side. Seriously. So treat yourself with, man, treat yourself kind today. Like really go forward and put forth that effort that you need to go and make the things happen that you truly need to make happen for you, you know for you and for you and in your life. So much grace, that so much grace that surrounds you. Like your prayers have been heard. Seriously, your prayers have been heard. Seriously. So this is you stepping forward to be your authentic self. I know, like, a lot of times when you go certain places that are so fake that you can't be yourself. Certain things you say and all of that good stuff, man. You know how it is out here. Right, it's like, man. But anyway, just being your authentic self, you showing up, people are gonna be blown away. Like, seriously, people are really and truly going to be blown away because you're entering one of the, I don't get into that new year and all that. I believe in manifesting. Prayer, that works for me. Speaking things into existence, writing it down, all of that stuff. I believe in all of that because I've done it and I've seen it work. Everybody's got a different belief. Everybody's got a differences, but whatever works for you, man. But just get rolling, like, really and truly get rolling, get moving, like, in the, get moving, get rolling, like, in the now, like, really and truly, like, right now. Chris Tucker said, Fung Hao, right now. Rick Tan. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to sit down. I think that was it Rush Hour 2? Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and watch that. But yeah, man. and the odds are really shifting in your favor. You know, the odds are like the odds are really and truly, you know, it's like the odds are really and truly shifting in your favor. But again, you know, it's up to you to you know, like Michael Jackson said, you know, looking at the person, the man in the mirror to make that change, you know. So it's up to you, you know. Um, you know, you're about to become, I don't know, somebody wrote a vision board like 4 years ago, but sometimes it takes time, man. You know, it does. But you're about to become that vision board. You know, you're about to become that thing that you ultimately wrote out like years ago. You probably forgot about some of that stuff. You know, you're about to go to new heights. You're about to take these new trips. I'm telling you, all expenses paid. You know, seriously. What did they say? Don't meet me there, beat me there. So, you know, you're saying like imagine yourself on a ship, you're going, you know, you're traveling somewhere on a cruise, you're waving goodbye to your old self. And you know, and you're embracing your new self. Like really and truly. You're gonna keep growing. You know, you made those mistakes. That's okay. That is a you know, that's a part of life. Those things are gonna happen. You know, bumping your head a few times, trying to figure it out. Yeah, so you know, just trying, you know, tried and true, trying to figure it out. That's how it goes, man. You know that's how you know that's how this thing works. But you know, you get up and you keep moving and you keep focusing and you know, and you see this thing happen. You know, you really and truly, you know, you really and truly see it happen. It's gonna be purposeful. Mm, but I'm getting that you know you're gonna get like very specific instructions. Like you're gonna get like what's the words I'm trying to. You're going to get like these. You're about to be announced. You know you're about to be announced. You know you're about to be really and truly. You know you're about to be announced. It's like you know steps and levels and but you're going up. You know you're about to be announced in detail. You know it's like the God is in the details, you know. So you are really and truly about to be announced. You are one of heaven's greatest helpers out here, you know. So just go again, go out there, put yourself out there, man. You know, continue to do that. Continue to drive, continue to push, continue to, you know, go ahead and continue to make that thing happen. And you know this again this is for you know this is for you and you because you're gonna love you where my Jennifer Holiday fans at, but yeah man, for real, you know you really and truly, you know, you're really and truly going to love you, man. Remember yeah, yes, what is it, today's price, well, yesterday's price isn't today's price, so don't sell yourself short on that. You know, so name your price, and so shall it be. I'll just yeah, I'll leave you with that. Name your price, and so shall it be. So yeah, so we were talking about your passions or your purpose, the meaning of life, and all of that good stuff. You know, you moving forward, pushing, making these amazing things happen, making these amazing things happen for you and in your life. But if you're catching the replay, I am Mr. Soul of a Man 504. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you are and all of that good stuff. Leave me a comment, folks. And but as always, folks, I'm gonna go ahead on and shut this thing down. You guys have a great what's this Wednesday? You guys have a great Wednesday. But as always, folks, about this peace. Peace.